Do you know that when you pay attention to your career, when you pay attention to your academics, don't think you're walking in the flesh. Let me say this to you. Anything you do that can afford you a level of comfort, resources, and allowance to do what God has placed in your heart and to carry out the visions God has given to you is spiritual. Do you understand? Everything you do in order to have certain levels of comfort, allowance, and resources to carry out, to prosecute whatever God has put in your heart and commanded you to do is spiritual. So, if in order to make sure that you can say no to the temptations that are coming from outside, you decide to go into business and sell books, sell bags, sell clothes. Are you understanding me? It's actually what? Spiritual. Are you with me? So, if you with your time invest in your personal development, if with your time you invest in prayer, if with your time you invest in good Bible study, if with your time you consistently come to church and sit to be groomed and grown like this, what you are doing with your time is actually sowing into the spirit. So don't think that because you were seated receiving 2 hours lecture, you think it's carnal. It's not carnal. So far it's going to sum up to allowing you to carry out the plan of God for your life is spiritual. Can I say to you that if Daniel was not excellent in mind, and if Daniel was not able to comprehend and learn the sciences and the learnings and the tongue of the Chaldeans, I hope you know he wouldn't have had access into the king's court, where his prophetic ministry and prophetic operations and gifts upon his life can find expression. Are you aware? Are you aware that the salvation of Israel in the days of famine in Egypt wouldn't have been possible if Joseph was not a skillful and excellent man? Wait, you don't understand. How many of you have kept semo for just 1 month? And you see those weevil coming out of it. How many of you have stored grains of corns? And after like 3 months, you notice they have eaten all of those things inside. Imagine storing it for 7 years. It takes a level of skill to do that. And if you are going to build that skill, that it will be used to the glory of God, you are actually not sowing into the flesh. You're sowing into the spirit. And I hope you know Israel was carrying the Messianic covenant. If Israel had died in that famine, God will have to go and look for another set of tribe or race to starting again the salvation. So the reason why Jesus could come was because Israel was preserved in that famine. And the preservation of Israel in that famine was because a man was able to, with his time, invest in the spirit. Your choosing to invest and sow in the spirit does not end with you. Usually it is transgenerational. It does not end with you. There are warfares we inherited, sir. Not because we did something. There were those who came before us who didn't sow in the spirit. Where did they sow? In the flesh. And if you sow in the flesh, you will of the flesh reap what? Corruption.